Piers Morgan has built his career shouting down pro-Palestinian voices, demanding they condemn certain groups before they're even allowed to speak.
Would you condemn?
I'm simply asking you, do you unreservedly condemn? Do you condemn the people who did it? They're not.
But there's one person Piers will never dare to condemn: Rupert Murdoch, the billionaire media mogul who gave Piers his first big break and who just happens to be one of Israel's biggest supporters. And that's exactly why Lowkey exposed him.
So I have a question for you.
I think you lose all credibility when you say
I have a question for you. I'm not concerned about whether you think or don't think I have credibility. It's
I don't cover this from supporting either over the other.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Absolutely
Because I have
sure.
a question. I have a question.
What's your question?
Rupert Murdoch,
Yeah.
News Corp International,
Yeah.
which employed you for several years.
Yes.
Which actually
It employs me
is
now.
It employs you now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting to the issue.
Yes.
Now.
What
News
do you think
Corp-
the issue is?
News-
I
I'll
saw what you
explain to
tweeted. What does it have to do with me?
Not my tweets. I have a question for you. News Corp International had a charitable arm which funded the Jerusalem Foundation, which builds illegal settlements.
What's this got to do with me?
Illegal settlements in
What's it got to do with
Jerusalem.
me?
Do you condemn Rupert Murdoch?
What's it got to do with me?
Do you condemn Rupert Murdoch?
I'm not talking about Rupert
do you,
Murdoch.
Do you condemn Rupert Murdoch?
I'm not talking about Rupert Murdoch.
This has never been shown on British media. This is a letter from Netanyahu's political office. And Bridget may well recognize the handwriting of Benjamin Netanyahu here. It is a list of individuals that Netanyahu considered to be funders of his political campaign. There is a name on this list. The name is Rupert Murdoch. Your employer.
You know what, Lowkey?
It seems he funded Benjamin Netanyahu.
You know
That's
what?
an issue.
You know what, Lowkey? It's not an issue for me.
It's an issue,
Nobody
and actually it's in the interest of objectivity
understand one thing.
that you state it.
Rupert Murdoch can speak for himself. You've got a problem with him, take it up with him.
I do,
I
yeah.
can tell you categorically, he has never had a single conversation with me about anything I've put on Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Sam Kiley resigned from the Times newspaper because of Murdoch's investments and bias
If
towards
you have a
Israel.
problem,
This document, this letter,
you're a rapper,
clearly
right?
shows Benjamin Netanyahu noting Rupert Murdoch, considering him to be a funder of his political campaign.
You're a rapper, yeah?
That's an issue.
You're a rapper. Do you condemn P. Diddy?
Yes.
Great. You see, you take it out of your obsession?
We see the situation differently.
Not really.
My loyalty is to the people.
I agree with you a lot more. I agree with you a lot more than you realise.
I view myself as loyal to the people of the camps, to the people under the bombs. I do not view myself as loyal to somebody that would end up on a list of potential funders of Benjamin Netanyahu.
I like Rupert Murdoch enormously. I respect him enormously. And if you
won't condemn his...
When Piers realized he was cornered, he tried to deflect in the most ridiculous way possible. Instead of addressing Rupert Murdoch's role in funding illegal settlements, he demanded that Lowkey condemn P. Diddy. Yes, P. Diddy, someone Lowkey has zero ties to. It was a laughable distraction tactic. But in trying to change the subject, Piers only exposed how desperate he was to avoid the real issue. Because what Lowkey had in his hands wasn't just a piece of paper. It was evidence. Evidence of Rupert Murdoch's deep ties to Israel and his financial contributions that helped illegal settlements take root in occupied East Jerusalem, displacing Palestinian families in neighborhoods like Sheikh Jarrah. You could see Piers Morgan visibly shift in his seat, uncomfortable, and the cameras? They quickly panned away, refusing to show the document to the audience. To understand exactly why that paper mattered so much, here's Lowkey himself breaking it down, courtesy of PalPulse, an amazing YouTube channel dedicated to uncovering the truth.
In the case of Piers Morgan, I think it's important to point out something that may not be well known. So what I have here is a list that was compiled by Benjamin Netanyahu and his political office. What you also have here specifically is names with Netanyahu's writing. Now, this was published by Y.net and the Israeli newspaper, one of the well-known newspapers. And here you have names of individuals that were considered by Netanyahu's political office to be funders of his campaign. Now, one name here, there's many names, and we can go through them in different ways and the significance they have in this country. But one name here who I think everybody should be interested in is Rupert Murdoch. And he's given the designation of 2. Now, Rupert Murdoch, of course, is an oligarch that controls much of the British media, owns The Sun, owns The Times, owns Sky News, and others. Murdoch historically has funded something called the Jerusalem Foundation, which builds illegal settlements in Sheikh Jarrah and Silwan. In addition to that, Rupert Murdoch also had a subsidiary called the NDS Group, which was run by former Israeli intelligence and military personnel, which was accused of hacking the communications of its opposition at the time, other media companies. Now, Rupert Murdoch is also, importantly, the owner and the founder of Talk TV, meaning that Talk TV, which has the cartoonishly evil James Whale and his sidekick, also employed Piers Morgan for a period of time. And the time when I went on the channel, the show was on Talk TV, owned by Rupert Murdoch, who is on a list here from Netanyahu's political office, considered to be a funder of Benjamin Netanyahu. In the case of Piers Morgan, more widely, he has appeared at events for a charity in this country called the Norwood Charity, which is headed by Jonathan Mendelsohn, who's the former head of the Labour Friends of Israel, and also headed by Trevor Chin, who's a very key Israel lobbyist, funded Starmer. He's on the executive board of BICOM, which is Israel's largest lobby group in this country, which has a daughter organization, We Believe in Israel, that attempted to remove my music from Spotify. In addition to that, on the 22nd of October of 2023, Piers Morgan met for a sushi meal in New York in the midst of his coverage of the genocide in Gaza with Nicola Mendelsohn and Catherine Jenkins. He's pictured at the table in the sushi restaurant with them. Nicola Mendelsohn is the wife of Jonathan Mendelsohn. She's also lobbied for Israel at Facebook, where she's the head of global advertising. Just so we're clear, during this period of the genocide of Gaza, adverts have been allowed on Facebook calling for a Holocaust against Palestinians. Oh. Adverts have been allowed encouraging Palestinians to leave Palestine and go to Jordan. So the head of global advertising at Facebook, Nicola Mendelsohn, has also met with Shimon Peres, has also participated in Israeli government-supported events. In addition to that, Catherine Jenkins, who Piers Morgan was sitting next to and smiling, has fundraised for the JNF, which is Israel's largest settlement building body in occupied Palestine. So from my perspective, I view it as there being too many conflicts of interest here. You were employed, and at the time you interviewed me, you were employed by a channel that is owned by someone who seems to be a funder of Benjamin Netanyahu. Yeah. That's a conflict of interest. In addition to that, he would have filling in for him sometimes, and I was invited on when someone was filling in for him by the name of Douglas Murray. Douglas Murray has a clear historical relationship with the Israel lobby through the Henry Jackson Society. Yeah. He was executive director of the Henry Jackson Society, the founder of the Henry Jackson Society. Alan Mendoza is listed as a director and a president of the JNF, which again is the largest settlement building body in Palestine. There's been a clear revolving door between the Henry Jackson Society and the Israeli military. And on top of that, Douglas Murray was then given an award by Isaac Herzog, the Israeli president, for his services to Israel in the media. Would that include the time that he was filling in for Piers Morgan on his show? Serious questions that have to be asked about this incestuous relationship.
If you've made it this far, it means you care about more than just headlines. You care about the truth behind them. That's exactly what we're doing here at Rap Theater, cutting through the noise and exposing what others won't. So if you're after the truth, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and join the Rap Theater community for more breakdowns like this one.